Hopefully this works. Hopefully this works. Hello everybody. My air purifier sounds like a jet engine, but that's okay. I'm very unhappy because wireless charging just stopped working on my Note 10. So I can't charge it wirelessly anymore. I have to have it plugged in like a caveman. Rocco's also being a menace, which is annoying. Ooh, I didn't like that sound. Makes sense how all the notes got a little bit higher for me constantly doing this. Hello Rick Hoover, hello Nikolai, hello Caden, hey Vacuum Collector 2024. Hi Chance, how are you doing today? I'm doing good. Rick Hoover says vacuum, I guess that's what I'll call you. I'm so proud of my videos, is close to hitting 3K views on YouTube. Rick Hoover orange cat things. Indeed, he's very orange, unfortunately. There is no cure, unfortunately. Vacuum collector, well, at least you have a working phone. That is true, it does work. It just, wireless charge doesn't work, and power share doesn't work. I don't know if it's because I dropped it or what. Like, I drop it once, and then something breaks on it. I mean, at least the glass isn't broke, so it's still functional, but I believe, given the fact that I dropped it on the back and then it stopped working, I'm sure I could open it up and plug that connector back in, then it'll probably be fine, but I don't want to do that. So, and I really don't feel like buying a new phone, so I guess I'll just deal with it. Or I could switch back to my old Note 9, which I might end up doing, but it's just kind of a pain. got my two newest, most freshly used vacuums out here. That GM car guy. I like the Apple Box collection. So it's literally a meme because I've made fun of my fiance with how many phones that he has gone through in the not Rick. Rocco, what are you doing? God damn it, I just called Rocco by Rick's name. Because I just heard him knock something over. What is he doing? Rocco, stop oranging. Stop oranging. Stop oranging. Why don't you stop oranging? Stop oranging. I keep telling you, stop oranging. I know it's in your nature, but stop oranging. Stop oranging, please. Can you just not orange for 5 seconds? Can you just not don't get spicy. Can you not orange for 5 seconds? For 5 seconds, can you not orange? I'll take that as a no. Ah. Really? Asshole. Damn it. He poked my Hard Rock Cafe shirt. This is one of my favorite shirts. That I've had so long that that's now covered in hair and all the text is like broken. Where's his brain? He never had one. I don't even think there still is a Hard Rock Cafe in St. Louis. I should know. Orange cats are born without one. Yep, exactly. Those hair on my tits. Ugh. Yeah, so this big beefy bitch is the ball. And I want to know, first I got to move these filters out of the way. All these filters and bags that I left sitting here. If I can go 5 seconds without sort of showing my ass crack. So, here are all these filters. Now, I want to know what dipshit at Dyson. I want to know who came up with this. I want to know who came up with this design, and I want to beat their nuts in with a baseball bat, because for some reason, Dyson thought, "Hey, we have this perfectly functional handle on our UK DC-15 that we're currently developing and we're about to release." This was back in 2005. And they think, okay, we're going to put this machine out in the States as well. Now, what should we change? What should we change about the DC-15 to make it better for US markets? And then some jackass, because this obviously wasn't an accident. Someone deliberately decided, let's spend extra money to make two different handles, to make a different handle for the US market. And unlike the DC-17, which we're currently working on, that'll come out next year. Again, we're talking about a conversation that Dyson's having back in 2005. So we're co-developing the DC-17 specifically for the U.S. market, and that one we're going to put a backwards handle on. God damn it, Rocco! Stop! So I want to know. So I want to know what jackass looked at this, looked at the handle on the DC-15, which is the same handle on the DC-14, which just with this extra little bit of plastic. I want to see. I want to know what person greenlit this and said, let's spend extra money to take the exact same handle that's on the American DC-14s and on the US and on the UK DC-15s. I guess technically it's not the same handle because again the DC-15 one has this extra ridge. So I guess okay, let's ignore the 14. So they said let's take our DC-15 handle from the UK. That is fine. It's nothing fucking wrong with it. It works fine. It actually works great for this design. Gives you a bit of extra leverage so you can twist and turn around corners. And they said, let's flip it around just for shits and giggles. And unlike what we're eventually going to do with the DC-17 and DC-18, let's not curve it upwards so that way it's level with the ground when you're vacuuming. Let's curve it downwards. So that way you have no comfortable way to hold on to this fucking thing while you're using it. So when you're using this fucking thing, the handle is bent downwards away from you. So you have to bend your wrist at a weird-ass angle just to use the thing. And now you're putting all this extra stress on the back of the spine for no reason that will eventually cause the spine to wear through and crack as these things get brittle. Like, someone at look how much flex there is. Look how much flex there is. The entire spine is flexing, and I haven't even begun to turn the swivel neck yet. Instead of... This is fucking stupid. And this vacuum was $600 when it came out. Okay, I guess the animal was $600. The all floors would have been $500, right? Or $550? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Even if it was $500, after tax, that's $600. So this thing, and remember, this is back in 2005. You know how much money that is in 2025? 20 years later? That's like $900. This vacuum cost $900 back then. So, and here's the thing. So many people have complained about the DC-15. So many people have complained about the DC-15. And they said, oh, it's bulky, it moves like shit, it's got electronics and the ductwork. Let's ignore all that, because honestly, this thing is actually not as bulky as I remembered. This thing is actually not that bad. It's awkward because there's all this flappy shit, but it's honestly not that bad. Now, when you're picking it up and you're carrying it, it's kind of a brick. But when you're maneuvering it, kind of in a similar vein to the Miele U1, when it's on the ground and you're using it, it actually moves quite well. I mean, this essentially is Dyson's answer to the Miele U1, or maybe the other way around. I don't know which one came first. I want to say this came first, but I could be wrong. So, this thing, for some fucking reason, they said, let's flip the handle around and make this thing impossible to use. And here's the thing. I had one of these about 4 years ago, I want to say. 4 or 5 years ago. I want to say it was 2020 is when I had one of these. I could always go fact check and see. But this thing, literally, I guess it was just enough time that I had forgotten what I hated about it. I knew I didn't like it. I knew that's why I sold it. But I was so sort of enthralled with the story of what had happened when I sold it, and the people that bitched because they didn't like the machines. They tried to lie and say it was broken. Like, I was so worked up from that story that I kind of forgot why I got rid of it in the first place and why I sold it in the first place. And yeah, this thing is just awful. This thing's a piece of shit. And again, it's all because of this handle. So someone from the UK, if you have an extra handle for one of these, please let me know. Especially if it's the matching yellow one, so it looked nice and pretty. If you have the I'll even trade. I'll do a trade. Do you want to try one of these abominations? And any of you watching in the UK, do you have a DC-15 and you want to try this abomination of a handle? Let's do a trade. I promise you will regret it. I promise you will regret it. But it worked out for me, at least. So yeah. And this thing, the damn wand is so narrow, you can't even pull the wand up without it dragging on the wand cap. It's like, it just scrapes the back of it. And it just doesn't work. And again, you're trying to use this thing, and it just does. See, it gets caught. You can't use this with one hand. That's kind of the whole point of the 14, is that you could yank this out in one smooth motion. And obviously that's what Dyson was going for, because on the 17 and the 18 and the 25, they got rid of, in the 27, 28, they got rid of that button entirely to make it just, you can just grab it and go. You just literally just grab the wand, pull it up, and then you're done. And I've also seen DC-14s with that handle. No, you haven't. That's the thing. You have not seen. There is no other Dyson with this handle. And I can prove it to you. The DC-17 and the DC-18. I will do a separate video on this, because this honestly deserves its own rant. Because again, I just mentioned this. The DC-17 and the DC-18 handle, which later was retrofitted to the DC-14 back in 2007. 2006, 2007. That handle is bent. It's curved upwards. It is curved upwards. This is curved down. This is literally the front-facing handle that's curved down, designed for you to use it, and it's flipped the other way. I thought the DC-14 had a handle like that before, too. No, again, this is wrong. I just explained this again. That handle is bent upwards. Look at it. Okay, I'm not going to pull out my DC-17. But I'm going to pull up a picture of this. Dyson DC-17. Because the handle is facing up. Of course, I can't look up the DC-17. But look at this. The handle faces up. See the bend? See how the top of the handle is above where the wand cap is? That handle goes up to about here. Which means when you pull the thing down, now it's even with the ground. It's not at a 45-degree fucking angle. This is stupid. Is that a Note 7? No, this is a Note 9. That's another thing. I somehow lost a bunch of my phones. I had my Note 8, 2 Note 5s, and my Note 7 out, because I was going to do a video on all of them. I was going to do a video on the second channel about how to fix YouTube on Android 5, 6, and 7. Because YouTube drops support for those, but there's a little hack you can do to make it work. And I can't find those phones now. I know they're in this house. But God, if I lost that Note 7, that's $1,000 that I just lost. I guess one Dyson engineer wanted to fuck with Americans. Yeah, this is so stupid. Who wants this? I've never met a single person that likes this handle. Again, not this handle, because this handle is not the same handle. This handle. Who likes this handle? Not this handle, this handle. Who likes this? This is bullshit. Who likes this? This is absolute garbage. I recently found an old Sanyo SC-35A, however, it was used without a bag, so all the dust went through the motor. It sounded like it was struggling. I'm not sure if it's going to burn out or not. You might want to take it apart down to the motor and see if you can get it cleaned out. Otherwise, it will burn itself out. It's possible the carbons are fucked, but you won't know until you open it up. If it sounds like the motor's actively not turning, then yeah, it's probably burning out. And if you're trying to save it and not just change the motor out, then you're going to want to pull it apart and check the carbons and everything. And here's the thing. From what I understand, maybe I'm wrong, but I believe that there does exist a forward-facing DC-15 handle in the U.S. I have seen it before. But I can't find it anywhere. Can't find a replacement anywhere. If I found a forward-facing handle for the DC-15, I would be much happier, because I could sell this handle on eBay and be done with it. But I still wanted to try it, because this is one of the many reasons why people wrote off this machine when it first came out. This was the machine that made people like truly buy into the idea that Dyson is just an unserious bullshit brand. And I can't really blame them. This thing is goofy looking. I love it, don't get me wrong, but this handle ruins the entire machine. It really does. Also, the fact that the cleaner head doesn't maintain contact with the floor and it pops up when you pull the machine back, that also does it, but that could be an issue with this one. A metal base plate too. Like, that's kind of all over the place. But yeah. So this sucks. I basically got on stream just to rant about this handle. Check in your server. Oh god. What just happened? Yeah. The DC-14 target. That's kind of cool. Or the drive. But yeah. So this design sucks. That's pretty much that. Chance, what's wrong? I just told you. This handle sucks. That's what's wrong. I got an HSN exclusive DC-15 Total Clean. That's the DC-15 I want. I want the DC-15 Total Clean with the forward-facing handle. That's the DC-15 I want. God, stupid allergies. Nose is all itchy. But yeah, I want the DC-15 Total, I don't know. There's two white ones that exist in the States. There's a white one that looks like the DC-14 full kit. I think it's also called the full kit, but I could be wrong. And there's the Total Clean, which is the same color as the DC-14. I forgot what that DC-14 was called. But it's the silver one with white accents. Wait, is that one also the Total Clean for the 14? I think they're both called Total Clean. Either way. So, that's the 15 I want, is the one that's mostly silver with white accents, with the forward-facing handle. That's the DC-15 I want of all the ones that exist. But this yellow one is nostalgic because I did have one of my aunts and uncles used to have this exact machine, handle and all. And I remember not liking it as much as my aunt's DC-14. And I know why, because this thing is just goofy. It is goofy. It has a smaller attachment fitting for some strange reason. But this does have all three onboard attachments. And of course, because of the because of the way that the fitting is, you can use modern, at least in theory, you can use modern Dyson attachments on it. I'm trying to think if I have any over here. I don't know. But yeah. So you can pop that out and struggle with it. And then you can put a crevice tool on it, which is really awkward and doesn't like to sit on here properly. So I think the upholstery tool is like that too. Yeah, all these kind of sit on here, kind of funny. But the stair tool is in good shape. It doesn't have any issues. Chance, I think you're sick. Oh, I've had allergies for a while. Continued from earlier, it wasn't popping yet. However, the bottom bearing was nearly seized. You think I fix it with some oil? Carbons are fine, by the way, just very dusty and abused. You're not going to want to use oil. You're going to want to use actual grease. Oil will it'll just melt away after a while. Well, not melt away, but it's not a permanent fix. Because yeah, you can use like WD-40 or something to like remove like the old grease and all that. Again, not remove, that's the wrong word, but it'll help free it up a little bit. But if you're not replacing that bearing entirely, you're going to want to pack it with new grease at a minimum. At a minimum. Backlab will show you how to do that. What about the DC-25? I actually didn't like the DC-25, and I still don't. But then I started to like it more after I fixed it. And then right after I put brand new filters in it and I was going to do a full video on it, then the power switch died. So now it doesn't stay on until I replace the power switch. So yeah. I want you to do another living room vacuuming demo on the Bissell Power Track 6592. Cool. I have a Dyson Ball Animal 3 Extra IMO. It's, in my opinion, better than SharkVax. That's true. It is better than SharkVax. It's a lot better. Honestly, the DC-25 is alright, but the brush roll motor is such a common failure. Yeah, I don't think, and I think someone asked earlier what I think about the DC-41. It's so funny, because so many people hate the DC-41, and they hate the newer machines, but in my opinion, that's when they actually started getting good, because the DC-15 is just a terrible machine. The DC-18, as much as I love the DC-18, in terms of reliability, it's very bad. And then the DC-25 is reliable, but it doesn't clean worth a shit. So, the DC-41, despite many people saying it's not, is actually an okay cleaner. It's not amazing, but it's fine. I mean, if you have a low enough pile carpet, it'll definitely get you by. The DC-65 is a little bit better. And then once you get up to the UP13, that style of cleaner head, this style, once you get up to this style of cleaner head, assuming it's not stripped out like this one, once you get up to this style of cleaner head, they clean fantastic, and they're actually good machines. So the UP13, the UP14, UP19, UP20, those are all great machines. The UP19s do sometimes have issues with reliability. I've seen the wheels fall off on those every once in a while, but I've never had that problem. And then, of course, the COV hoses like to break on all those, and the rear hoses on the UP13 and 20. But other than that, they're actually perfectly reliable, and I haven't had too many issues. One of my Ball Animal 2s had the circuit board fail on it that controls the brush roll. But, thankfully, it was still under warranty, and they fixed it. So, if they hadn't, I would have been very upset. But, thankfully, they did. So, yeah. And then obviously the Animal 3 is much better as well. So other than, yeah, they do have some reliability issues. They're not perfect. But I've seen circuit boards and motors go out on Milas and Sebos as well. More so Milas. Sebos are usually a lot more rock solid. But I've also seen bearing blocks strip out on Sebos, and I've seen other issues with the sensors on Sebos. I've seen a lot of knockoff Sebos have the sensors go bad to where the machine doesn't stay on, like my Rubbermaid. So no machine is perfect, and that's why I honestly think all these machines are shit, and I'd rather just a basic bitch Bissell like that, because the basic bitch Bissell generally is not going to have the motor go out, even if it runs a lot of dust through it. Most of the time you blow out the motor and it's fine, hence that one. And other than the belts breaking and the bearings on the brush roll sometimes seizing up and needing to be replaced, they're rock solid. So the more that I go through all these vacuums, the more that I don't like modern complicated vacuums. So yeah, I don't think this machine's gonna stay in the collection, to tell you the truth. But who knows? I could be wrong. If I manage to get a forward-facing handle, I might like it. I'm basically just gonna milk this thing for a bunch of videos, a bunch of comparison videos. Now that I have every single ball upright, and send it on its way. So if any of you guys want this machine, if any of you guys are after a fairly minty DC-15, there's like one tiny little crack back here on part of the bottom cord hook, but it doesn't affect it. Other than that, it's in really good condition. It's obviously got some scratches on it. I'm gonna clean off the paint marks, replace the filter. I'm definitely gonna replace this filter. I might replace the post motor filter if I can find one, and yeah, send it on its way. So, Rick Hoover, wish I could have it. Yeah, I'd give you a good deal on it. That's the only thing, is I'd be hesitant to give it away just because I am out $200 on it. So, it is what it is. Chance, you're an awesome YouTuber. You know, I just think it's great. Yeah. Oh, Leah's here. Oh, that's awesome. Leah, King of Bissell Kids. LOL. I had a DC-15 many years ago. Yeah. I am a ding. I am a ding. I am indeed the King of Bissell Kids. I'm still a Bissell kid at heart. And there's valid reason for that. I've explained this 100 times. You know, I keep putting off doing like a video on, you know, why I still use cheap vacuums and all that stuff. But yeah, that's one of the videos I need to make. There's so many videos I want to make about just like the idea of vacuums in general outside of just reviews and whatnot. Leah, I missed you. We should VC soon. How late are you going to be up? Because we might be able to VC after this. But yes, I miss you too. But yeah, there's a lot of videos. Leah, lol, I'm fading fast. No worries. We can always do something a different night. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons. The fact that I've gone through so many machines just kind of reinforces my appreciation for these basic machines, because at the end of the day, they get the job done. You take one of these Bissells, doesn't matter which one. You take any of these somewhat older or newer commercial Bissells, and you pair them with a Mighty Mite or a Zing, and you've got a killer combo. And that will run for 20 years at least before you have any major issues with it. God, my chair keeps squeaking. I have a brand new chair in the box, but I still haven't opened it yet. But yeah. Rick Hoover, squeak. Yeah, I know. I need to replace this chair. I literally have a brand new chair. Actually, you can see it. I just realized you can see it. Holy crap. It's literally in frame. It is literally right there. I bought it at Staples like 6 months ago. Actually, yeah, I bought this at Staples over 6 months ago. I bought it in like August. And I still haven't opened it, which is insane. I still need to do that. But I keep forgetting. I don't think about it until I actually sit down in this chair. But yeah. So, hope you guys enjoyed that unhinged rant about this lovely piece of shit. Ralph says, what's pissed me off is that my Note 9 new back glass came damaged. eBay seller never sent me a refund. I'll definitely get a hold of eBay. Or honestly, if you want to be a douche, just buy another one from that seller and then start a return. Like, if they won't let you return that one for whatever reason, and you're actually telling the truth and it arrived broken, just order another one and then start a return for that one because the first one arrived broken. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if they ripped you off and they didn't package it correctly to the point where it arrived damaged, which defeats the entire purpose of ordering a piece of glass, then yeah, you gotta do that. eBay is stupid junk, like they want a horrible condition F&G thing from 1977 for $200. That's not eBay. You realize it's not eBay, right? That's this person selling it. I mean, granted, eBay's, buddy with all the shipping companies to where they let the shipping companies screw you over. Speaking from experience. Maybe this is why I went on Unhinged Rant, because I've been pissed off the last few days, and now I'm hyped up on caffeine. Because I got my lovely iced latte with... My lovely large iced latte with six caramel shots in it. My damn $6 coffee. Most of the money is going towards fees, yeah. Well, the fees aren't actually that bad. Compared to other... And I just mean, like, relatively. Like, yeah, they're high, but compared to other companies like Facebook and Mercari, like, they're not any worse. Because eBay's the gold standard, so all those companies have copied eBay. This case sucks. But yeah. So. But yeah, so that's pretty much that. $6, that's cheap compared to Australia. A small coffee like yours is $6. Well, what's I'll look it up, but I mean, what's the comparison of $6 bucks to 6 freedom bucks? Let's see. 6 USD. Is it to AUD? Is that Australian dollar? Oh, that's 9 Australian dollars. Okay. 9.51. So six American dollars is 9.50 in Australian dollars at the moment, at least. So that means my coffee was $10 Australian. Wait. $6, that's cheap compared to Australia. A small coffee like yours is $6. That would make sense, because then the large coffee would be 10, which is the equivalent to $6 US anyways. So they're the same price then. I mean, I know when you're exchanging currency, it's not that simple, because obviously. But then again, wages are higher in Australia, aren't they? aren't wages higher? Okay, now I'm not going to jump down this rabbit hole, but I think it's more similar than you would think. And to be fair, if it was more in Australia, that would at least make sense because Australia is kind of like off off doing its own thing. You know, not by choice, obviously, but you know, it's just as far as all that. Yeah, we have a store down in the area that sells lots of furniture but vacuums. To they're usually about 15 plus in terms of age. They also have horrible shaped Bissell rewind things for free. I mean, for free, might as well. I'd rather just go to a thrift store and buy a Hoover Runabout for $5. Yeah, there was a. Oh, I just remembered. There was. I went thrift shopping in Indianapolis a little bit ago, and I took pictures of almost all the vacuums that I saw at the various flea markets in Indianapolis. Um, but I didn't buy any vacuums. There was a Kenmore self-propelled, but it was like $30. I don't like self-propelled machines. It was in good shape though. There was a Dirt Devil Classic for $5, which I would have gotten, but it was in really rough shape. Show? Okay. I mean, obviously this is going to be kind of janky because it's just on my phone, but I'll see if I can find these. But yeah. Oh, so here's the aforementioned Dirt Devil. It was missing the bumper, and this was at a random pawn shop. So this one, it was at a random pawn shop in Terre Haute, and so if you're ever in the Terre Haute area, there was a Dirt Devil. I forgot what the pawn shop was called, but there was one there. There's part of me that wishes I had grabbed it, but I don't really care because if I really want one of these, my friend who has a vacuum store has one of these. And at that same pawn shop, there were two nasty Power Forces that were way overpriced. Nothing special. Again, more overpriced. Pawn shops, I didn't even know pawn shops sold used vacuums, but these are all ridiculously overpriced. There's, this pawn shop had a used Kirby 2001 limited edition for $60. Which I have one of those before. There's nothing really special about those. This one had a used Wind Tunnel High Performance, used for $90. And it literally says new awesome deal. Or what does that say? New arrival deal? Come on, focus. Maybe I turn the brightness down. It does want to focus. But yeah, it says new arrival deal, $90, which is a terrible price. And then what else was there? This flea market had a Hoover Rewind Hoover T Series. This was one where I missed a picture. There was a Bissell 2252 and a Power Force Compact that I didn't take pictures of. Here's the aforementioned Kenmore. That was $30. But again, I don't care for self-propelled machines, so I didn't even entertain it. There's the Eureka Power Speed. Who gives a shit? Bunch of standard bullshit machines. Two of the Walmart Black Friday Hoovers that my boss has at the shop, and then a Power Force and some carpet cleaners. So again, nothing too crazy. So I guess people are losing their shit over that Whirlpool Kenmore. So if you want that Whirlpool Kenmore, go to Indianapolis and you'll find it. And then here's the thing, I actually want that Power Glide, that like bagless Power Glide. That bagless Power Glide pet. I've actually wanted one of those, but for some reason I didn't grab it. There must have been something wrong with it because I don't remember why I didn't grab it. But there's that and a DC-17 Animal, which the DC-17 was $50. Honestly, it was just expensive enough that like I didn't want to go through the effort of actually buying it, especially because I already have one now. But so because it was one of those like weird flea markets where there's like a bunch of different vendors, and I wasn't really sure where to check out, and I was kind of sketched out by the whole place, so I didn't want to spend my money there. And then there was also kind of like the Elite Rewind that I really like, but it's like a slightly different version. So again, just a basic, kind of slightly older Hoover. I actually would have bought this Easy Vac, but this was one of those flea markets where every booth is actually, you can't buy from that booth unless the owner of the booth is there, so it was actually locked off. I actually would have bought that green Easy Vac just to try it out again, but again, I couldn't because it was locked off, and I didn't really care enough anyways. One of my favorite Sharks, but it was literally $90 or $70 for a used one. And again, another rack of overpriced, like $49 for a Power Force Helix when they're literally 60 brand new. And that's in Illinois. That might be even cheaper in Indianapolis. And then, of course, there's a Rewind back there and a DC-40, and a couple carpet cleaners, Crosswaves, and a DC-40. And then, oh yeah, I got another picture. One of those shitty Shark rocket power heads. This actually was kind of a neat find, but it was $45 fucking dollars, literally. I'll show you the tag. $44.99, Hoover Turbo Power 2000 vacuum. But you can see, why does my brightness keep going down? God damn, this phone sucks. So yeah, which sucked. I actually would have bought this, but for $45, fuck that. Not worth the risk. There's my Diamond Edition. Again, overpriced. This one, they had $130 on it. This was kind of cute. It was a little Eureka. It was a little $10 Eureka. I don't know. I didn't know what it was, but didn't really care. There was a Rug Doctor, but I don't care. Weird Electrolux I've never seen before, but it looked kind of bagless and shitty, so I didn't get it. One of the Royal Dirt Devil hand vacs, but I've got so many that are identical to it. There's some other pictures I took too. Like I took a picture of this cool looking Coke machine. Basic F&G Sanitaire modern one. I was at a GameStop, I think in Indianapolis, and they actually use the bagless version of the Big Green that I recommend all the time. And I just happened to notice it, so why does my phone keep going out? Jesus Christ. So that's what they use. It wasn't one that's for sale, it was one they were using. So I kind of noticed that. Missing the crevice tool. Again, some more garbage pawn shop vacs, just some stick vacs. Another Kirby. For some reason, people keep bringing Kirbys to pawn shops. Little $6 Dirt Devil Scorpion hand vac. It's kind of cute, but didn't really care. Again, more garbage. We do have a Bissell Big Green, but it was $150, and I didn't want to spend that much on a used one. So I would have got that Big Green if it was cheaper. But yeah, I didn't really trust it. And of course, just some basic bullshit, slightly older TTI Hoovers. Nothing too crazy. There was a McCulloch. I don't know what that McCulloch vacuum is. That like yellow McCulloch canister. I'm not sure what that's all about. Dyson V6. An old Dyson V6 Slim for $120. Bit too much. And I think that's it. Yep, that's it. That's all the vacuums. Vancouver, that's a steamer? Oh, okay. Oh. That's a DC-44. Is that what that is? Wow, you could tell just by looking at that. I assumed it was a V6. But yeah, I guess it'd be an older one. A digital slim. But yeah. Eureka Power shit, yeah. Donovan Curtis, trying to buy a blue Phantom Wildcat right now. Don't know if I told you or not. If you're okay with getting a green one, I'm going to sell my green one pretty soon. So if you want a green one, I'll sell you my green one. Because I really don't like the Wildcat. Rick Hoover Sharts, CS8, my relative's Easy Vac, Shank. Definitely the Stratos is so damn bad, bro, for $349. It's so pathetic, yeah. Rick Hoover, I would have gotten it for 15. Yeah, not for 45. Honestly, yeah, I probably would have gotten it for 15 too, because I like those hardbag elites and the all black. Yeah, aka Can Ham all steel canister. I'm going to Tucson in a week. Yeah, TR fuck GameStop. They scam me. I scam GameStop, so I'm not too bad about that. I bought. Ooh, let's not show the shipping label. I got a copy of Beautiful Katamari for only $20, and this is actually a pretty expensive game now. But yeah, so I actually meant to do a video on this, but I forgot to. But I probably will at some point. Want to bet those Kirby's were stolen? Probably. That's a steamer, yeah. Oh, in that case, I'll probably just buy yours then. You know how much you're gonna want yet? Honestly, I'm gonna be brutally honest. I'm gonna want way too much for it, because I've seen what they go for on eBay, and honestly, that's kind of pulling me in. So I mean, I'm probably gonna list it on eBay for like a ridiculous price, and then if it doesn't sell, then I'll sell it to you for like a much more reasonable price. I'm just being honest. Like if you know, I'd like to, you know, it'd be nice to sell to you for like $200 and change, but if some jackass on eBay is gonna pay, you know, $800 for it, then might as well, right? I mean, you can't blame me. I mean, you can't blame me for trying, but I figured, well, I don't blame you at all. I do the exact same thing. Yeah, I know. It's like, I mean, come on, like that's also what's making me want to sell my NOS limited edition Fury, because I'm actually this is going to be the year. 2025 is going to be the year where if you want to buy a Phantom off of yours truly, you will get your opportunity, because a Thunder and a Lightning, if not two of each, more than likely two of each, will go up on my eBay at some point. It's just a matter of me not being lazy. And then probably a Fury as well, but I don't know yet, because there's still a bunch of Furies I have to like part together. But yeah, so Rick Hoover, make that dough. I know. I want some money. Give me money. Give me money, god damn it. Someone's gonna clip that. There's gonna be some time in the future where I'm just like some out of touch prick, and someone's gonna clip that from this exact stream and be like, this was the time that Chance went off the deep end and stopped caring about his fans and his audience, and just started caring about the money. Look, I'll tell you the truth. You guys watch the videos often enough that it pays my rent and it pays my bills, and it means that alongside my 9-to-5 job working at a video game store, it means that with those two jobs combined, I've got enough money to make it by. Which, granted, that's with the cheapest rent in this town that you can pretty much get for a house this big, because my house is shitty, and a car that's already paid off. But hey, I mean, I'm not stressing out about money as much as I used to, and I really thank you guys for that. And that's not even accounting for, I mean, just the eBay sales that I made at the latter half of last year kept me afloat even when Riley didn't have a job. So that's the reason why I was still able to hit my savings goal, despite, you know, having net negative income coming in. But yeah. Donovan Curtis, I have an extreme problem with buying Phantoms and spending too much money, so I very well might buy multiple from you. In the past year, I've spent over $1,000 on Phantoms alone. You want to spend another $1,000 and I'll send you a Wildcat? Because, I mean, hey, I'm not going to say nothing. It's not, you know, I'm not going to give you, I'm not going to dissuade you from spending money. I swear all the Phantoms in my area you buy. How? I don't live in Arizona. The last Phantom I bought was from Arkansas. And of course the power switch died on that domestic right after I bought it, which sucks. I do, lol. Oh, you were talking to Donovan. Oh, do you guys both live in Arizona? I forgot about that. Oh, that's funny. CSA, not you. It is a pretty good, even though I hate that model. What? CS8, yes we do. Okay. Okay. I was I can never tell if someone doesn't say like the name of who they're talking to. I can never like figure out who's talking to who, because usually it's hard to tell just from reading all this like who's talking to who. So I apologize. Caffeine. Man, I just ate some spaghetti too. 2 bowls of spaghetti with hamburger and red sauce, and I'm downing this entire coffee. I mean, not to be blunt, but I'm gonna shit my brains out tomorrow morning. God. Ugh. All right. Oh, I didn't show you guys my new laptop, did I? Because I got it a little bit ago. Well, I guess it's in the bedroom right now. But yeah, I finally got myself a new laptop to finally upgrade from this big beast bitch. Which means I am going to sell some laptops. I started listing some phones on eBay. And so I listed my Fold on eBay. So if anyone wants my Galaxy Fold, it does have problems. I will say that it does say that in the listing that the Fold does have problems, but you know, if you're willing to put up with those problems and you're not, I wouldn't recommend getting this as a daily driver unless you plan on actually getting it repaired, because the screen does work, but you know, it is marked down because it has problems. The sound doesn't work. It does have a little green pixel right there, and sometimes it has a weird issue where the screens don't like to switch, and then I'll restart it and then it fixes it, but it's like a little bug with it. And but the main thing is the sound. The sound, unfortunately, doesn't work. You have to use Bluetooth or something. The sound got bricked in a software update, and Samsung won't fix it because Samsung can suck my fucking nuts. And I even tried to send it. I even tried to pay to have this sent in, and the link didn't work. I almost dropped it. And I was gonna pay $100 to have them fix it, which I still kind of want to do. I would rather do that than sell it. I'd rather spend the $100 and have it fixed, and they just won't. The portal just doesn't work, which is really fucking annoying. But yeah. Oh yeah, the train. Yep. I live in a rail town. What can you say? But yeah, it really sucks because honestly, the things that I've been bitching about the with my notes and everything, if this thing worked good, I would use this. You know, if it didn't have any issues. But Samsung won't fix it, which sucks. Because I actually would love to have them fix it. Because plus, if they fix this, instead of selling it for $200, I could sell it for $500. So, because at that point it'd be Samsung refurbished. Because it's actually physically not in bad shape. There's a couple scuffs on the frame down here from where the case got pushed out of the way during a drop, but the glass is in perfectly good condition. But if anyone wants to buy this thing and you know send it in themselves for $100, maybe you live in New York and you can and you have the option for a Samsung store, which God, I wish I lived near a Samsung store because that'd make it so much easier. Maybe I'll take it to Best Buy and see if they can do anything with it. This back part of the case is always hard to take off. This case honestly sucks, but yeah, I love this. I love this Fold. It's a great phone. But yeah, it's pretty cool because that little pixel doesn't really bother me all that much. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but it's not bad. What will Best Buy do? I thought they fixed phones. I know they fix computers. I know they have the Geek Squad and everything. But yeah. Yeah, this thing is a brick, too. It's an absolute brick shithouse. But yeah, so I'm selling this, and I'm also selling my Galaxy S6, which has not been updated, which I know people on the second channel really like. They like the phones that haven't been updated yet. So... which, who knows, I might... Well, no, it's already 11, so I probably won't tonight. Can someone explain to me what the hype is about Phantoms? Isn't build quality important for a vacuum cleaner? It's bagless, cheaply made, and I don't find they clean well at all. They're not. They're not really cheaply made though. They're actually built very well. The main issue with them is that the cleaner heads don't have really enough material. The plastic is a bit thinner than it should be, for sure. But the main bodies of them are actually built very well, and they do clean very well. I'm not really sure. I mean, the biggest issue with Phantoms usually is just parts availability and filtration in terms of dust emissions through the motor. Because obviously, it's a bagless system for the 90s. It's not going to be a sealed system. But that's the main issue with those. But yeah, I mean, I don't really agree with the assessment that they don't clean well and they're cheaply made. They definitely do have their faults. There are things that like to go bad on them. The brush rolls do like to have issues. And like I said, the housings can sometimes warp if you're not careful. On the Thunders, the headlight wiring likes to go bad a lot. It's a huge issue. But not so much on the Furies. And then when it comes to the Lightnings, the power head necks like to snap. Other than that, I mean, the Furies are pretty rock solid usually. The Furies don't usually have too many issues. Sometimes the release pedals break, but not very often. The main thing is just the hoses will eventually kind of split after a long time if they're stretched out all the way. But yeah, I mean, most people get them for collectability anyways. Tomorrow is Mario Day. Oh, it is. Let's see. Maxim Shady says, my question got buried, but I was wondering if you ever thought of 3D printing for replacing vacuum parts. I'm a designer myself, and I make designs of parts you can 3D print on Thingiverse. That's actually something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to like get together with someone who's a 3D printer and who has the machine and find a way. I mean, I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to 3D printing, but I would love to find a way to create molds to replace vacuum parts. You know, like the first thing I ever think of is like motor mounts for like an Elite, like a part that's 100% pure plastic that doesn't have any electronics that you very easily could print with an alternate material and put in place. And especially something like that where it's out of sight, that'd be something great to do. So I mean, I really think that there's a great market out there for someone to do that, not just for vacuums, but for a lot of appliances and a lot of products where replacement parts aren't available. That'd be a great idea, and I'm very surprised that's not a common thing already. Every time I see any of your videos where a vacuum has a broken part, I've always wanted to know if you've ever considered it. I've actually thought about it every time I've gotten a vacuum with a broken part. Like, oh, I wish I could just print a new piece and be done with it and not have to worry about finding something on eBay or pulling it from another machine. That's something I've always wanted to do. Do you think I can switch phone plans on the same phone? Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. That'd be more of a carrier thing than a phone thing, assuming the carrier you want to switch to supports both phones. Unless you're talking about a different plan on the same carrier, in which case, yeah, absolutely. There's no reason why you wouldn't be able to, unless you just can't for whatever reason. Just got a free DC-07 full kit. Hey, that's nice. Is it faded? Donovan, I also know of LED bulbs that fit Phantoms now, thanks to one of my friends. Gonna get some of those soon. I need to get some too. CSA, I switched from T-Mobile to Verizon. I have T-Mobile, but I have Mint Mobile, which is Ryan Reynolds' carrier. Only issue I've had with the Fury is the base plate cracking and it not standing up. The base plates do crack a lot on those, unfortunately. Because again, the plastic just isn't thick enough. If they re-engineered it with thicker plastic on the base, they'd be a lot better. Donovan Curtis. I can send you a link to those if you want. They're really cheap, 10 for 16 bucks. And if you want to. At least for a Sanitaire, all parts are unavailable, unlike a Phantom. Well, yeah, the company hasn't existed for 25 years. Obviously, the parts aren't going to be available. A traditional Sanitaire would clean much better. It would clean a little bit better, but not enough to warrant it being... I mean, director vacuums in general are just obsolete. There's no reason to recommend or use a director vacuum in 2025, because there are bypass machines that clean just as well as a director machine and don't have to sacrifice tools, don't have to sacrifice a design that requires far more maintenance and far more babysitting than a bypass machine. I switched from T-Mobile to Verizon. Oh, I read that. No, it's complete too. Only some cracks from its age. Yeah, that's good. Let's see. For me, the pedal just falls out of the bottom because it cracks on both sides, and it's really annoying. Main reason I think the Thunder is so much better. Yeah. I personally like the Furies more. I've never had an issue with breaking the pedal release on any of my Furies, like any of the ones that I've actually used. Because obviously I can't really give it shit if one's already broken because I don't know what the previous person did with it. Because I've seen where people like will pick up a machine and then just slam it on the ground over and over again. And if you do that for 20 years, yeah, it's going to eventually break. Just recently got a curb fine DC-33. Yeah, I saw that. I've made Hoover Elite and Org XL fans, but I'm still refining their design, although they work as is. Elite fans are actually fantastic because, as far as I know, you can't get Elite fans anymore. So that'd be the first thing for sure, because there's so many people that love those Elites and want to keep them running. I actually kind of like them too. Not all of them. Some of them are too loud, but there's definitely some that I like. I hate direct air, honestly. Loud tools are useless. Have to worry about fans breaking and get a machine that cleans just as well and is bypass. That's exactly what I just said. Like, yeah, is a Sanitaire going to outclean a Phantom or a Lightspeed or anything like that? Yeah, probably. But it doesn't matter, because if you have a machine where the belt stretches out 10 times as quickly, then that means after you use the thing for 2-3 days, a week, now the Phantom cleans better than the Sanitaire, because now the Sanitaire is worn out and the brush roll is not making enough contact. Not to mention those beater bars damage carpets. And the fans, obviously, are way more prone to having breakage. I mean, it's not... Generally, if any of us are using a director machine, then we can usually get away with a director fan not breaking, because we're not sucking up coins and paper clips and push pins and shit. But if we're talking like a machine that can stand up to abuse in like a normal household that's not ran by one of us, then yeah, they're gonna have way more luck with even a Phantom than a Sanitaire. And I would assume you're talking about a good Phantom, because obviously it wouldn't be fair to compare a 20-year-old Phantom to a brand new F&G. So I mean, I assume we're starting like baseline, like brand new here. In which case, yeah, the Phantom will last a lot longer in the average household than an F&G. Even then, I think a Thunder would clean just as well as a Sanitaire. Fury and Cycle Next T would be really close. Yeah. Director machines in general are very overrated. And it makes sense, because a lot of times, again, it's very easy to bullshit the numbers when you have a bag machine, because when you have a bag machine, you can just be like, "Oh, I'm giving the bag a fucking breast exam, and it feels like there's stuff in there. This cleans great." And then it's like, whereas a bagless machine, and that's how we know this with sharks, when a bagless machine isn't fucking working, because you can see what it's picking up. And you can see, hey, this has jack shit in it. Or, yes, it has stuff, but it's all fluff and it's all volumized and there's nothing in here. And there's no fine dust, there's no grit. So yeah, I mean, I'm not making the argument that Kirby's or Sanitaire F&Gs at their peak are bad cleaners. They're not. They're fantastic cleaners. In fact, I'd say the best vacuum for just raw deep cleaning, the best vacuum is probably the Riccar Superlight. If you're just looking for like raw brute force carpet cleaning, like you just to get every single thing out and you don't give a shit, you just want it to get every single fucking thing out of the carpet, everything else be damned, noise doesn't matter, filtration doesn't matter, anything like that, then a Riccar Superlight would be the obvious answer there. Even an XL21 cleans 98.3% as well as a Riccar Superlight, and it's a far more pleasant machine to use. So I mean, an XL21 also would be fantastic. But honestly, Abyssal outcleans an XL21, and so does a Phantom. But they're very close though. So I wouldn't even necessarily call it like an obvious thing. Because I mean, the Maytag wind tunnels clean incredibly well. The Whirlwind light speeds clean incredibly well. And you know, a lot of those machines. And you know, it's kind of funny now that I think about it. The Maytag wind tunnels, at least the ones that most vacuum collectors are running now with a new brush roll, and the Phantoms, and the XL21s, and the Riccar Superlights, and the Kirby's, what do those all have in common? They all have a wooden brush roller. Same with the Workhorse. The Workhorse is a fantastic cleaning machine. And you can get parts for it. So if you like the idea of a Phantom, but you want something modern with parts available, and you don't want a Dyson, then yeah, I mean, a Workhorse is a great option. I still need to get one. That's one of the machines I need to get this year is a Workhorse. Would a Smart Vac be good too? Smart Vac would be good. I think the Smart Vac is honestly a step below the Lightspeed and the Maytag wind tunnel, just because it's such a wide cleaning path, but then the air path is all the way to the one side. Because even on the wind tunnel and the Lightspeed and the Power Forces, they're at least a bit more towards the center. Same with the Workhorse. So like, it cleans amazing where the air path is, but then the other side where the belt is, it's not doing anything. So it's like, I mean, yeah, it's pulling some stuff towards the air channel, but there's a lot of turbulence there. So I honestly think the Smart Vac, it's not a bad cleaner, to be clear. It is not a bad cleaner. But I think it feels less effective because it has this wide cleaning path and you've only got this small area. It's the entire reason why I always prefer smaller cleaning paths, which is why I like the Oryx, why I like the Ball Animal 3, why I like the Bissels and the Hoovers with the square bases. I like the more basic wind tunnels, not the Supreme wide path ones. You know, like I think that same with the SIBO, like the SIBO and the Fury, those all have like the exact perfect width of the base, to where even the thing being slightly off center is not really an issue. The belt spot is always going to be bad because there's no airflow going there. But if you're overlapping your vacuuming strokes like you're supposed to be, then it shouldn't be as much of a problem. It's just exacerbated more on the Smart Vac. On the 4870. When I say Smart Vac, I mean the 4870. That's what most people mean, but I just want to be clear about that. But yeah, Recouver Concept Series, the Panasonics. I might be getting a Power Force 352-5 from the thrift store here soon. Would a Smart Vac be good too? I think I just read that. Yeah, Recouver, the 4800 series. What did I say, 4870? Yeah, I guess there are other ones too. How did you know I got a DC-33 recently. I think, okay, I just realized your name's Vacuum Enthusiast. I think I got you confused because I think Jack got a DC-33 recently, and I think that's what I was thinking of. Because he had just put out a video. Was it Jack? Somebody put out a video. It said Roadside Rescue DC-33. I didn't remember what the channel said. Maybe it was Jack. Maybe it was somebody else. So I think I saw that, and I just assumed that that was you because I didn't remember what channel it was. So I think that might have just been a coincidence. Yep, that's Jack. Yeah, that's why I thought it was Jack. So I think I think I got them confused in my head. So I guess you both got a DC-33 at the same time, and I got them confused in my head. The Thunder was a commercial vacuum at one point in time. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Vectron, yeah. I just hate hearing about airflow more than anything. Airflow doesn't have much of anything to do with carbon. I've said this before. Airflow means fuck all when it comes to carpet cleaning ability. Maybe not fuck all. Maybe not literally fuck all. But if you compare how much airflow actually matters to the way that vacuum collectors talk about it, then it means fuck all. Because the air path and the suction and the agitation are all just as important as airflow. It is possible. We've seen this with modern Dyson. It is possible to have lower airflow, but still a large amount of suction, and as a result, good carpet cleaning. Because anyone who says, and I've said this before, anyone who says that modern Dysons, the Animal 2, the Animal 3, don't clean well, are literally full of shit and don't know their ass from their elbow. I've said it before, and I'll say it again because it's the truth. Now, it's one thing if they say, oh, they're not amazing, they're okay, which, that's still not right, because the bar that most machines should need to hit to be considered good carpet cleaners, the modern Dysons hit. And a lot of people just don't want to admit that, because they don't want to admit that modern Dysons are good cleaners. Because I don't know why someone can't just say, yeah, modern Dysons, they clean well, but their customer support is really bad, their warranty isn't as long as it should be, and the overall build quality still has issues that haven't been addressed, and that's why you shouldn't buy one. That would be entirely fair, and I would even agree with that sentiment, because there are issues that modern Dysons still have to this day, especially for their price. But they're not bad cleaners. That's not a thing anymore. We are now at the point where Sharks clean far worse than a modern Dyson, because Dysons have gotten better and Sharks have gotten worse. So anyone that says that a modern Shark cleans better than a modern Dyson are full of shit. There's literally, it's not even like they're close, and I can be like, okay, maybe in your experience it just happened to get a little bit more, it looked like it got more. No, you're actually just wrong. Like, you're actually just wrong. You're actually just don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, I don't like to say this, especially if I'm responding to somebody when they're like, my Shark cleans so much better than my Animal 3, and I'm just like, it doesn't. I don't believe you. Like, that's not true. Maybe you have the 1 in a million shot where your Shark is just supercharged compared to every other one that's that model. And maybe your Animal 3 is just defective to the point where the motor just doesn't produce any suction. But unless you have that 1 in a million chance, you're just full of shit. You just are. Like, unless I see evidence of that, because and again, I'm not gonna tell someone, yeah, you're wrong for making this purchase. But if I say, hey, in my experience, these Dysons clean very well, and I'll say, like, hey, I've owned every Dyson that's ever existed, with the exception of the DC-01, but I've owned every Dyson upright that's existed in the U.S. market. I have owned every single one. Okay, scratch that. I haven't had the UP, whatever the fuck it is, the updated version of the DC-50, the small ball. I don't think I've owned that one, so maybe that's incorrect. Every other one, DC-07, DC-14, DC-15, DC-17, DC-18, DC-24, DC-25, DC-27, DC-28, DC-33, DC-40, DC-41, DC-65, Kinetic, UP-13, UP-14, which that's the Kinetic, the DC-50, now I'm getting my orders mixed up. The UP13 and its various offshoots. The UP16, so the slim ball and the light ball. UP19, so Multi-Floor 2, Animal 2 Origin. UP20, so Animal 2, and UP30, Animal 3. Because you know what? How about this? We'll just say this because I own a DC-03 and a DC-04. Let's say that makes up for me not having the small ball. And I think I can confidently say that's close enough for me to say that I own every single Dyson, and I've used every single US Dyson upright. I've used every single one. And I've also owned many, many Sharks. I've owned the Infinity. I've owned multiple Infinities. I still have multiple Infinities. And I'm trying to sell both of them, but I keep forgetting to fix them up and post them. I've owned multiple Infinities. The original Navigator, the Navigator Swivel, Navigator Swivel Plus, Swivel Pet, Swivel whatever the fuck. There's like 10 different versions. I've owned every version. The Deluxe, the tan one, the black one, the blue one, the purple one, the white one, for the Navigator, Lift Away, I've owned every single version. I guess not the blue one, but I've had the purple one, the white one. For the Zero M, I've had the Zero M multiple times. I've had every Apex, including the original version, the Zero M. I haven't had the Speed, but I've had both Apexes, the Stratos, the Power Detect, the rotators. I've had various rotators, and I've had the rotator Lift Away NV752 and all of its various offshoots. The ones with the headlights and the Speed and the Deluxe and the DLX Compact, whatever the fuck. I've owned basically every major iteration of Shark. So, and I can say, on this carpet, on this exact carpet, it is not true to say the Dysons clean worse than the Sharks. It is bullshit. Maybe on your carpet it's different. Alright. Yeah, that's jacked. Yeah. I like the Grey Hoover Wind Tunnel self-propelled from 2006. I also got a Curb Fine Shark Rocket Zero M. Oh yeah, I've used the rockets too. The rockets are shit. I actually repaired a rocket for somebody, and I did a video on it, but I never uploaded it. I still need to upload it. Do you want to see that? Do you want to see me fix a rotator? Or not a rotator, a rocket? I recorded it like 6 months ago. I also did a video like a year ago of me vacuuming the back half of my shop with my boss's Hoover after I fixed it. Do you want to see that too? Because that's another video I forgot to upload when I was going through my videos. So if you want to see both of those, let me know. And I'll upload those. And I'll, upload those. Most important aspect of a vacuum cleaning ability is its brush hole and cleaner head design. I found a Singer Laser Storm at a thrift store recently, and those same people who talk crap about Dyson recommend those garbage TTI Hoovers that ruin the carpet. Exactly! TTI bootlickers. TTI machines are shit. Again, even if you don't give a shit about the fact that TTI machines are made in China, that they're made with all sorts of terrible shit, and the fact that the company supported Project 2025, if you don't give a shit about all that, if you don't give a shit about the politics of it, I guess we'll say, because I guess where a vacuum is made and all that, you could argue that's all political, because I guess in a way it is. The machines are shit. They're built like shit. The power switches on them fail all the time. They burn carpets. TTI has gotten way worse about making parts available to the point where they'll either refuse to warranty it entirely because they have a new scam design where they refuse to do any warranty unless you have a receipt, but do not communicate. Because again, people argue this with me all the time, and it's so fucking frustrating. If I was the president right now, or I was a politician, I would be drafting legislation that says if you're going to deny someone warranty without telling them on the package of the product, if you're going to invalidate someone's warranty because they don't have a piece of paper, that needs to be on the box. That needs to be on the top of the box. When you go to put the vacuum in your cart with it facing the correct way on the shelf, on the top of the box, there needs to be in plain text, and not super tiny text. It needs to at least be like, this big. It needs to be this big. See where that says Galaxy Note 9? It needs to be that big on the box. And it needs to say in the corner on the top of the box, keep your receipt. It should say on the box. It doesn't even have to be it doesn't even have to be like dramatic and all uppercase in caps lock. It just has to say in plain text, in black lettering, assuming the box is white or red or whatever. It has to say in black lettering, keep your receipt. Your receipt is required to maintain warranty rights. That exact phrase should be mandatory on any product sold in the United States that does not permit you to make a claim on your warranty without keeping your receipt. And in addition to that, any company caught not doing that should be fined heavily, because that is in direct violation of the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act, and it is not something that any company should be allowed to get away with, and not something that any person in this industry that claims to give a shit about the consumer should overlook. Nothing. No excuse. Any fucking person that says that it makes perfect sense to have that policy in place and says that that directly says that the company should not be required to put any communication on the box, that you should be able to bait and switch a customer by telling them after they paid for their machine and after they opened it and after they have a problem that you can't collect on your warranty because you didn't keep a piece of paper, or God forbid that you kept that piece of paper but the store you bought it from had shitty ink that wore off and they couldn't read it. It is bullshit. Shark needs to go bankrupt. Getting a Shark is a death sentence for your carpet. It really is. Those fucking sharks tear up your carpet. Yeah, the NV752s especially. Those tear the shit out of your carpet. Way more than a DC-17 or any other machine does. Maxim Shady. On the topic of brush rolls, I've even thought about and tried designing brush rolls, but it's a little out of my skill scope. I can use dowel rods and a lathe, but I have no experience with those. Yeah. I miss when Shark made the cyclonic models. You didn't have the DC-24 yet, the small ball. No, I have had a DC-24 before. It was just before I had the channel. That's why I said it's only the small ball that I haven't owned. Because I have a DC-15 now, and I've owned multiple DC-24s before I started the channel. Also, Chance, I want to tell you that Grayson's Vaxxon motor's got a Power Force 3522-1. He's liking it so far. Donovan, I'm honestly surprised that Shark hasn't gotten a lawsuit filed against them yet because of the Switch. I've had multiple Sharks shock me and short out. It's unacceptable they haven't been recalled. Oh yeah, I've said this before. Yeah. I mean, I've told the story about how I got shocked, and that's why I cannot recommend any Shark products now. Donovan, I'm honestly surprised. Oh yeah, I just read that. Maxim, I'm looking forward to designing a somewhat modernized design for the fans on Concept 1 uprights. It will be interesting to see how much quieter and how much better performance they can achieve. That would be fantastic. That'd be really cool. Modding old vacuums is amazing to me. Like, it's so cool. Rick Hoover, it's only a matter of time. You know what I just realized? Couldn't somebody make... Because the way that Phantoms are, like the Phantom Fury, for example, maybe not so much the Thunder, but the Phantom Fury on the later models, where, even on the earlier models, where there's the fluff trap that pulls out, and then you can stick your finger in there, and there's like a little space, or on the later ones where it's down further and it's a trap that you can pull out. Couldn't someone 3D print a filter, or not 3D print, but like cut out a filter to just go right over that area? And then make a premotor filter for the Fury? I feel like that'd be pretty easy to do. Hell, you could probably like 3D print a new holder. You could probably 3D print a new fluff trap where the actual, because like there's a bit of a gap there. You can make the actual housing of it a little bit smaller so it's flush with the bottom of it. And then there'd be enough space to cut out and put a little filter in there. Because normally they're like wavy, aren't they? At least I thought they were like wavy. You could just make it flat and then put a filter right there. And still have the holes through the bottom of it. That's an interesting idea. I'd rather use, oops. Yeah. Shark, you should smash the ADV if you still have it. Yeah. Chance you still have your Dyson DC-07 carpet. Yeah, I still need to find a way to fix the changeover valve on that because it's still fucked up. I'd rather have a Gina housekeeper than a Shark. Yeah. That's the thing is, I actually really like the Shark Zero M, the Shark Liftaway Zero M, the one that shocked me. Other than it shooting sparks, like if they could fix the power button on that machine, I would still love that machine because genuinely, I love that machine. It cleans just as well as the normal navigators. It's like 99% as well as the normal navigators, which the normal navigators are actually not that terrible at cleaning carpets. The main issue is just that they float too much on the top of the carpet. But if they could just take that 0M, just make the cleaner head a bit heavier so it digs down further into the carpet, and or make the bristles stick out a little bit more, but still have the anti-tangle and fix the power switch. Even with the Shark filtration issues, that would be a great machine. And just put a longer cord on it. Like, I legitimately loved that machine. I really did. It was great. That was honestly, and for the longest of time, that was the one Shark I recommended to everybody. I said, look, if you want a Shark, get this. It does great on bare floors. It does great on carpets. It was a nice balance for both surfaces. Didn't tangle. A lot of people complained about the combs breaking, but I never had that problem with mine. And yeah, I mean, it was kind of annoying because, again, you still couldn't remove the brush roller. I would have liked to see a design where you could remove the brush roller, kind of like on a Dyson, but maybe a little bit easier than that. And it was a good machine, yeah. And it only stored one attachment on board, but the way the attachment peg sits on it, you can literally get. They even make an attachment peg that has two spots on it, like, so that's an easy fix as well. Like that machine is almost a great machine. It's almost a great machine. And even as is, I still really enjoy that machine when it's not working. I had mine for probably a year and a half before it died. And again, that motor was not a used motor. The power head was, but the motor was a direct replacement from Shark. Because again, to their credit, I got that machine for free. And they replaced the motor pod for it because it was still under warranty. And they didn't require any sort of thing. This is one thing I gotta give Shark credit for. They don't do the shit that TTI does. So it makes sense why people buy Sharks. I'm tired of the people that will just give customers shit for buying Sharks instead of getting on Shark's ass for not taking advantage of them being the top dog and not just sitting on ass and making garbage machines because they're the number one name. Because they can make good machines. They have in the past. They really have. The 0M, when it's working, is a good machine. The basic Navigator NV352 is a good machine. It has issues, yes, but it's a good machine. But again, those newer versions of that NV352, the model they replaced that with, has the same switch issues. So I can't recommend it. Even though they fixed the hoses. And they fixed the design on a lot of those. And some of those have longer cords, too. I have 6 Dirt Devil hand vacs, and all of them are getting my 16-blade fan design, except for the Ultra, which I haven't made a design for yet. Then the shock incident happened. Yeah. Because TTI wants you to go fuck yourself and buy a piece of shit tangle guard. Yep. And why would I do that when I can buy a Bissell? Although, I bought that pet hair eraser, and I actually really liked it. And then literally, that thing, the motor burnt out on it in less than 10 minutes. Less than 2 minutes, actually. Less than 2 minutes. Actually, no, actually, it was probably less than 10 minutes. Between 2 and 10 minutes. Definitely, yeah. I mean, motors are supposed to last at least 1,000 hours. That lasted definitely not even a full hour. Although it was probably a used motor in there, but it just randomly died. Maxim Shady, by the way, all my designs are public domain. I thought I would do a service by allowing anyone to distribute and manufacture my designs commercially. It helps broaden the aftermarket part available. You are doing God's work, and I greatly appreciate it for doing that. Definitely consider making some Phantom parts. I would happily, I would happily, because obviously since I don't have my own printer, I would happily pay you for some Phantom parts if you did make some, and they were ones I needed, of course. Buy a big green Pro Power Force instead. Yeah, or the Sanitaire, which I still need to open. Either that or watch slop channels like Vacuum Wars for their research. Yeah, oh yeah. And then Donovan said the first thing. The issue isn't the people buying them, but the company itself. Most people don't have time to do tons of research and have enough to spend $1,000 on a Kirby. They're just gonna go buy whatever Walmart has. Yep. I mean, the reality is most people stop buying Dysons when Dysons stop showing up at Walmart. Because a lot of Dysons, like, oh, why are we losing so much market share? Granted, some of that is their design. It's the fact that they like to stick to carpet and that people still feel that these are flimsy, which is kind of goofy because this thing feels just as flimsy as a UP19, so I don't really understand that. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Turn on the heater because I'm cold. Walmart is a shit company in general. Oh yeah, I agree. Maxim Shady, the foot pedal on my 352D-5 is broken when I bought it. I fashioned it with an actual spring, which has held up well. Only complaint is the tension isn't a lot, but it holds. Yeah, you can also buy you can buy new foot pedals for those. They might be yellow instead of black, but it'll work. CSA, they also supported Project 2025, which yeah, I mentioned that earlier, but yeah. But I mean, Walmart's based out of Arkansas, and Arkansas went like 70-25 for Trump, so it's like I'm not exactly surprised. Because obviously, people realize that these companies, I mean, that's just kind of how it is. Recouver TTI 2, yeah. I got the 352D-5 for $3 at a yard sale. Very unusual to come across from around where I'm from. Most of these older missiles have dissipated now. Yeah. I mean, for $3, it was definitely worth it. Elevator update for the week. There's no elevator troubles. Should I buy one of these shitty bagged Hoovers to review? It's on sale right now for $140. This piece of shit. Should I try it? Should I give it an honest, fair shake? Don't give TTI money. I'm gonna return it realistically. Only if it's used. Don't give TTI money. If I buy it and I return it, isn't that technically costing them more money. Oh wow, the Navigator Liftaway Deluxe right now is on sale for 150. Like the actual older model that doesn't have the switch issue. So that's kind of cool. It's on sale for 150. Oh, or the purple one's 160. Huh. That's not bad. Someone go hand him a Grammy right now. SpongeBob foghorn noise. Walmart is a shit company in general. Where's your uncle at? Because I want to talk to the man at the house. What? I don't live with my uncle. I pay for this house. I was just saying that my uncle had one of these back in 2008 or whatever, or 5, I don't know. We have an annual major yard sale, garage sale, and tradition where a ton of people set up outside along Highway 64 in Arkansas, and I always go when I can. Yeah. Those also have the switch issue, unfortunately. Both of the ones that shocked me were the purple NV352 models. Really? That sucks. So even those ones are fucked up now. Because they didn't always have this problem. They really didn't. I haven't been shocked by one, luckily. Yeah. And that's the thing is, even with the shark shocking me, it wasn't even. It's not like it hurt that much. You know, it's not like it was like, oh, this hurts. It was just more so startling, because it obviously shouldn't do that. But also is the fact that the spark actually killed the machine, and at that point the machine stopped working, because it had actually shorted it so bad. A sharp moment, yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. 12 amp Bissell, yeah. Happened to the purple ones I had too. Killed the main motor, but the power head still worked on one. I think the power head died on the other one with the main motor. Yeah. I have a Bissell Power Force bagless 6582. That's nice. I'm trying to find an Oric XL, preferably 100C or 9100. I still have an all-metal fan from an older one I had in the past. I've made my own, which has 7 blades instead of 5, but rather tight gaps. I know I'm going to be selling a couple Orics not too long from now, which probably including both of my, because I think I have a 9100C. Isn't the 9100C the gray one with the bucktooth headlights? Because I think that's the one I have. And then I also have a classic that's about the same age, like a burgundy classic. I'm probably sell those. think regardless of what fan design I make, they'll always be screamers. I have a soft spot for how small and light they are, though. Yeah. I'd like to get a Regina Housekeeper. They seem interesting. Donovan, I've actually never had an Auric other than the one broken 1 years ago. Never liked to look at them or anything. My grandpa has a Liftoff Revolution Turbo 3760-1. Rick Hoover wants the Housekeeper Ultra. It's 11:55 already. That's kind of crazy. I want to buy another Phantom Thunder. I think 3 is a good number. I'm going to sell my Thunder. It is the one that sometimes shuts off after a while, which I really should just open up and clean it, because my Fury that I daily drive had that exact same issue, and I cleaned out the motor and cleaned up the commutator, and now it runs great and hasn't shut off since. So in theory, that same thing would fix the Thunder. But I'm also lazy and don't care. But just letting you know, like if it's the, because I might sell 2 Thunders, but I'm not quite sure. But the first one I'm gonna sell is probably the one with that. Is the one with the silver cycle, and that's what I'm mainly after. So the one I'm talking about is the one that looks like a domestic, where it has the stickers, and it's a bit darker. And then the other one that I'm going to sell is probably the, well, that's the thing. I don't know yet if I'm going to sell the one that I most recently got. But I know I'm going to sell that one. That's why I mentioned that one first. But the Silver Cyclone one, now that I have 2 Silver Cyclone ones, I might sell the one that I most recently got. But I don't know yet. I can't say for sure. I don't want to commit to it and then decide not to. But I know I'm going to sell the standard one, because that's my least favorite version of the Thunder. With the black, I guess it'd be the one with the black Cyclone. Probably an unpopular opinion, but I prefer pre-XL21 era Oryx more. I've never actually tried one before, but cosmetically I like the older designs. Yeah. I got an Amway for $20, but the motor sounds like pure garbage. I mean, you can still get new motors for them, thankfully. So you could always, I mean, for $20, if it's in good shape otherwise, just slap a new motor in it and call it good. I got a new Auric. It's in very nice shape. The customer didn't want to fix it because the motor shot. It's like 3 months old. It's the blue colored commercial one. Wow, the motor died already. And people will buy those. And people will still buy those over the big green commercial, even though they're more expensive and they're terrible machines. TTI ruined Auric. Yeah, they really did. I want a workhorse, but I'm not paying $500 for one. I mean, you can. I would never buy a new one. You could always buy the refurbished one that's $100 cheaper. But even still, that's $370 before tax. So that's $400 after tax. I've been waiting for them to do another like sale, but every time I look, they just don't. They never have any sales anymore for some reason. Yeah, they just never have any sales. And for whatever reason, you can't buy the refurbished workhorse with the accessory kit. You have to buy the new one for some reason. But yeah, a refurbished workhorse is $369, and then the new one is $469, which is basically $400 and $500 because with tax and everything. But the refurbished one still has a year-long warranty. And it still comes with everything. Because I've seen the people, I've seen people say that like the refurbished ones are basically just as good condition as the new ones. I would buy a workhorse, but I don't really want to spend the money right now. But I do want to support them, so I do want to buy one at some point. Weird question. Do you collect VCH tapes? What? VHS tapes? I just hope to keep practicing my hobbies long into the future and providing for the vacuum community. Hey, that's commendable for sure. But yeah, I do collect VHS tapes. Also, random question, but have you ever watched an anime, Chance? Ever? Yeah. Do I do it regularly? No. Anime is not my thing. My dad's friend's house burned down because of the design flaw of the TTI Hoover Wind Tunnel Max. His unit was slightly defective. Yeah, not great. What animes have you watched? I don't remember. I've never explicitly watched any anime. I'm just saying, like, I've seen, like, I know they exist and everything. Like, I've seen clips and stuff. But I don't watch any anime. So maybe I guess saying I watched it was not the right. Because, I mean, in the most literal sense, I have watched animes at some point in the past, but never, like, intentionally. Probably the closest thing to anime that I've ever watched is probably Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's probably the closest that I would ever get that I've gotten to watching anime. Which, it's not anime, for the record. It's not. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, like, stylistically, it's the closest I've gotten. Because anime just doesn't really appeal to me. I remember about a decade ago when belts were $3 at Walmart. Now they're $6. Yeah. Vocaloid isn't anime either. I don't know. Pokedon Sour Man, do you hate when you post on the vacuum club picture of your unit and see people say, "Oh, I want that, already selling it"? I don't really post on the Facebook group. I keep meaning to because I want to like have a presence on there, but I just never do. I have a lot of VHS collections. I need to do a video on tomorrow. Yeah. Maxim Shady, do you still use paper bag products for any specific use case, or do you always opt for HEPA? I have a stash of paper, but they don't generally get tremendous use like my HEPA ones do. I always try to get HEPA when I can, but obviously if paper is the only option for that machine, then I use paper. Or if it's a machine I don't use very often, like the Elites, for example, I haven't bought HEPA bags for those yet because I don't use them often enough to justify spending the money. Because I have a shit ton of paper bags for the Hoover Type A series. But like the Bissels that I daily drive, I always use HEPA bags because I always have a huge pack of bags just ready to go for those. Actually, yeah, right. Well, funnily enough, these are the paper ones, but because I got these at a thrift store. But I've only ever bought new the HEPA ones at this point. Only as in the last 5 years I've only ever bought HEPA. Clean Fairy style 7 bags. Yeah, exactly. These are the paper Clean Fairy bags because I got these at a thrift store because they were full. It had like 19 out of the 20 bags and it was like $3. So I was like, oh, I'll buy that. But usually I use HEPA. But in a pinch, I'll use paper. Because there are companies that make high quality paper bags. I wish Arm & Hammer was still around because their paper bags were actually really good. And they pretty much were good enough that you didn't necessarily need HEPA. Hoover, I only use paper for specific vacuums that I don't use a lot. Yeah, that's pretty much where I am. Because I don't use my Elites all that often, and I have so many paper bags I have to get through. Even my Mighty Mites, which I can get HEPA bags for it, but I have so many paper bags that I've been using those, and they've been fine, even with a lot of fine dust. I need to put a HEPA filter on it. I've been debating on buying whenever the Sanitaire Mighty Mite goes on sale again. I'm probably going to pick one up because I do kind of want to retire my black Mighty Mite because the motor is starting to get a little bit off balance on it. Because I've used that thing hard. Like, I beat that thing into the ground for the last 3 or 4 years. Longer than that, possibly. And it's been a tank. It's been a trooper. Let's see if I don't get any elevator troubles. Huh. You always talk about the elevators. I'm not sure where that comes from. Rick Hoover, it's been mighty. Yeah, definitely. PlayStation Smasher. Hi, Intelitech Studios. I'm a big fan. Hello, PlayStation Smasher. Interesting username. Don't let Sony see ya. Turn it into a Mite, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that Sanitaire Mighty Mite is on sale. Is that Auric on sale? God, $170 for that Auric, for that blue Auric. What a terrible deal. What a terrible deal. What's the Sanitaire at right now? The bagged one, unfortunately, the Power Force one is back up to $143 when it was $120 not too long ago. So that sucks. Because like at $120 it was a lot easier to recommend it. Visit the Sanitaire store. Sanitaire Response. Ooh. Yeah, so the Sanitaire Mighty Mite is back up to $140. But still, it might be worth getting. But that's the thing, is it's really hard to justify getting it when my old one, I only spent, I think, $7 or $8 on it. Donovan, I'm curious to see how the LED bulbs look in my XT. I think they look the coolest in that one or in a newer Fury. Yeah. Maxim Shady basically fits onto the OEM style G bag adapter as an add-on, and it converts it to a square fitting for Auric BB bags. Caden, chance think you should do a house vacuuming demo of the Dirt Devil Envision. I will one of these days. Rick Hoover better than the Eureka version. I got those vacuums, Dirt Devil Red Ultra Vision vacuum was given to me. Sanitaire Force Quiet Clean. Handle screws broke, the plastic was donated to me. Yeah. I passed up 2 Bissell Healthy Homes recently, mainly because I don't like them. Rick Hoover posted an eBay link. Hoover self-propelled, Springfield, Missouri, $219, but free shipping, to be fair, which that goes a long way. It's in good shape, but it is leaning back, it looks like. But you can tell they took good care of it. Like, this is in beautiful condition. I hate how eBay doesn't have a dark mode. It's so annoying. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Oh, is it missing 2 attachments? For that price, I'd like to see a full set of attachments, honestly. Especially on a Hoover. Oh, wow. Some poor bastard. I mean, I'd like to have another one of these. This one's actually, is this an original 3522? It's a -1. 2003. I'm definitely not spending that much money. $200, that literally $70 plus 120. That's over $200 for a Bissell. I mean, I get it. I 100% get it. To tell you the truth, if I was selling my Bissell, this is what I would sell it for, pretty much. So, I mean, I get it, you know. Don't hate the play, I hate the game. I respect it, but that's a no for me, dog. Mainly because I already have one. Full set of attachments at least. I appreciate that. I mean, for the price, I'd hope it has all the original attachments. The dusting brush is not on all the way. You'd think you'd sweat the details. It's also on the wrong direction. Some cell phones. Ooh, an Honor? I haven't seen an Honor in a while. Got any more links for me, Rick Hoover? Electrolux Versatility. Where do you see that? Oh, that's kind of cool how you can do videos on eBay now. That's kind of cool. Oh god. Ew, Bissell Clean View. Power Force. Yep. Oh, this is in England. Oh, that's kind of cool. I think Parwaz already has one of these, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. Look at this nasty looking motherfucker. Bet Cleanview Plus. Nasty. Look how like you couldn't wipe this down with a disinfecting wipe. God, what a joke. What a joke. Look at that. Absolutely disgusting. Look, if you're gonna sell your shit for premium price, what if somebody started bidding on it after you practically advertised it? Hey, if you want to waste your money, that's fine. But if you're gonna waste your money, Why don't you just give it to me instead? How about this? Instead of bidding on that clean view, why don't you just give me a little super chat? So you see a little button right there? I don't actually know where. I think it's right there. See a little button right there? Just give me some money, and then, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to give you anything, but just give me some money, and then you don't have to worry about wasting your money on this, because instead you're wasting your money on me. And then, because how about just? I mean, if you're gonna waste money on this, you might as well throw away that money and get nothing. But I can save with combined shipping. But it's already $50, which is already way too much for one of these in that condition. Again, I spent $100 on one that was perfect, like perfect, mint. Any other ones? Ooh, another one. Another one. I can tell that people have been seeing. Oh, don't you love it when they do the nasty, like, half-assed, like, Photoshop the thing out? They don't even do it the whole way. Isn't that gross? No attachments. And again, why is the hose backwards? Again, no attachments. Same model, 3522-1. Local pickup only. $163. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. It says that it's 2 pieces, and I only got one, and it's rusted. What a great seller. I'm sure this seller's great. 85% positive feedback. That's pretty bad for eBay. Another clean view. Oh, another local pickup. Does have the original crevice tool, but no dusting brush. This one's actually not in bad shape, though. This one's actually not, well, really? Can take 2 seconds to pull the hair out of the roller. But yeah, not bad, honestly. Not bad. $80, a little high. Oh, yeah, no shipping. Okay, so I guess go fuck yourself if you want this shipped. I mean, it's eBay. You kind of expect on eBay that you'd be able to ship something, because that's kind of the point, but whatever. $80 and local pickup. To me, if I'm going on my way to pick it up, this should be $40. Like, best case scenario. Alright, what is this? Did I click on this already? Okay, wait, so this is the Hoover, isn't it? Oh no, that's a Panasonic. Wait, is this the Hoover? Oh, I missed a lot of these. Wow. Okay, what did I miss? Okay, so this one. Okay, so that's the Hoover. And this one's a Eureka. $241? Well, free shipping, though. And this thing is definitely a heavy bitch. And it is complete. No bag, though, really. $241, and you couldn't be bothered to buy a $3 pack of bags and put a bag in it. Like, come on, man. I mean, then again, I guess I have sold machines in the past that when I didn't have bags for them, so I guess I can understand that. I don't want to be a hypocrite. Because I guess people do sell the machine after they run out of bags, and I guess if that's the case, because for some reason in my head I'm imagining, because I have so many double R bags, so I'm like, why would you not sell it with a bag? But obviously not everyone has a million bags for these, so I guess that was kind of a stupid thing to say. Bloomington, Illinois. Good old Bloomington, Illinois. Do you like music with bass? Not really. Okay, I just clicked on that. What's this one? That's the same one. Okay, what's the, what? Really hoping to get a singer. I was given to the other day. Don't agree to Caden's requests. He'll spam me about it nonstop. Oh, that's fine. Whatever. Yeah, I know who he is. 119. We have reached a point of no return now. Old enough to drink, yeah. Electrolux versatility. I might buy the Clean View. I have every Clean View but that model. Don't buy that damn Clean View. Don't buy that damn Clean View. I'm probably going to sell my Rubbermaid Clean View at some point because I don't really care for it too much. So I am going to sell that at some point. So if you're going to waste money, then give me your money instead. Because at least I'll use to, like, you know, pay to fix my car and stuff. Let's see. What is this? Oh, yeah, the cute little jet flow. This is the cute little one, isn't it? Yeah. What a cutie. What a cutie pie. My local vacuum store before it closed down had a Cirrus in this design. Hockenson, Delaware. Never heard of that. Ooh. Oh, this one is pretty. This is gorgeous. Is it bad that I kind of want this? $122 with free shipping? Ooh, don't show me this. This thing is gorgeous. I'm actually gonna add that to my watch list. If this drops below $100, I'll probably pick it up. Because I really don't need it, but like, God, this is so pretty. Versatility, yeah. This is another machine that I passed up a couple times because I didn't really know much about them. But, well, I was going to say, definitely not going to get that one, but, yeah. Baby Jet Flow. Is it yellowed or beige? I'm pretty sure it's yellowed. Oh, well, it could be beige, actually. Because it was kind of an even yellow. Another link. Woohoo. Oh, yeah, the Performax. Wait. Isn't this called the Performax? Phantom Lightning has one of these. Or he did a decade ago. But he had the green one, I think. But yeah, this is cute. Hello Kitty. What a cute little machine. I think I clicked on all the links, didn't I? I didn't miss any. Performax is the upright one. Oh, Transformax. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Performax is the upright. Yeah, it's the Transformax. Wait, Transformax. DEI. It's a DEI machine. It's woke. It's part of the woke agenda. Miele, Panasonic, super old ass Hoover, bunch of other stuff. Miele. Oh, this is the exact one that I sold and it broke during shipping. That sucked. And I didn't want to pay for them to... I didn't want to pay to have it sent back, so... Because I would have had to pay for the return shipping label, which annoys me. But so I just gave him a refund. Hey, it's my Dyson. My ball. My red ball. He is missing 2 heppens. Oh, so it doesn't have filters? And it's missing the one cap. I love how the sticker is like perfectly peeled in like a weird ass way. Oh, it's missing the end cap. Okay, that's not good. 176, and you couldn't... You couldn't buy a $2 end cap for it? Alright, come on. Please note, item has some scratches and the color is damaged. Also, two lids of it are missing. Please see the pictures 6 and 7 carefully. The vacuum cleaner only come with what is shown in images. Also, please note that this item has been tested and will be tested again before it's shipped out to confirm it's in the same condition as it was listed. Great grammar. Absolute great grammar. Dyson. Oh, British one. Ooh, minty. That looks new almost. You know, I technically can buy any of these because I have the transformer. So if I want, oh my god, look how many balls. That's a lot of balls. Holy shit. I get all those for 154 bucks? I imagine it's just one. DC-41. Wow. Wait, what? You can get refurbished Animal 3s now? I just bought that damn Animal 2 Origin. Yeah, literally, it's still here. And now you can get Animal 3s refurbished for 250 bucks. That's insane. I was wondering, I was like, when are they gonna do a refurb run of the UP30s? And they finally have. Wow, that's cool. Oh wow, and even though it's, so this is a refurb of the Animal 3 Plus because it even includes a tangle-free turbine, which is not bad. So it comes with the exact same accessories as the UP19. It's just 70 bucks more because it's, instead of it being 180, it's 240 or 250. I mean. Yep, it says it right there, Animal 3 Plus. That's kind of cool, actually. Wow. That's really cool how they actually have UP30s now. That's pretty sick. I imagine it has the same 6-month warranty. Yep, 6-month warranty and lifetime Dyson support. Well, not really lifetime because eventually they're gonna drop support for this machine, just like they have for the 07s and well everything. I think the oldest upright they still support is probably the DC-41, isn't it? Because they don't support the 25 anymore, do they? Wow. It's so funny, they're like, I will never waste money again on a new one. It's like, you realize this is Dyson, right? You probably hurt their feelings. Yeah. Wow, they sold 4,000 of these. That's insane. I love how eBay just opens up 100 million tabs. Like, look, all these are new tabs. That's insane. And it just slows down everything. Close out of everything. There we go. Dyson Store. Dyson Renewed. I always like to go on Dyson's store and just sort by lowest. Ooh! Wait, is this the... Oh, is this just... Okay, this one's just the fan. It's not the heater. Damn. That'd be so cool to have one of these. Did the chat freeze again, or has nobody said anything for the last 6 minutes? Where's my refresh button? Nope, the chat just froze. There's a shit ton of links that I just missed. Oh my god. Okay, I think this one... Yeah, okay, you did send that one. Okay. So, this one... Ooh, the Protege! I've been kind of eyeing one of these for a while, ever since Alex did a video on it. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth buying or not. It's an interesting machine, but I don't know. Maybe it sucks. Who knows? What about this one? Mila? That's a good deal. That's a really good deal. Ooh. I don't know. Is this worth... Ooh, this is the fancy one with all the extra shit. Oh, this is probably worth getting. So, I'm not going to buy this because I have one that's similar. But one of you guys should cop this because this is an amazing... This is a great deal on a really good machine. Finally did not miss out even though I... came during the middle of the stream. The stream's almost over, so thankfully you came when you did, because you almost missed it. But yeah, okay, that's that. I don't know what this is. It looks like a TriStar, but whatever. I don't care. Let's see. Ooh, Concept 2. That seems really cheap for a Concept 2. I definitely want a non-self-propelled Concept, but this is a self-propelled, so automatically it's a no-go from me. eBay likes to crash, yeah. Is this one you just... Yep, okay. So, buy the Protege. Patriot. I'm gonna add that to my watch list. Rick Cooper wants me to buy the Pro. Is the Protege actually good, or is it just... I don't know. I'll probably talk to Alex, because he said he had one. Want an S7 or an U1? Hoping to get a broom vac myself, and I'm lucky enough to sign a new fan. Oh, so I actually am selling a broom vac. I just forgot. I just haven't listed it on eBay. I actually need to sell my broom vac. It's funny. You guys are mentioning a lot of machines that actually are in my list to sell. I need to make another video like of the machines that I'm selling. But like, because there's so many that I'm gonna sell, but they're not obviously all listed because I haven't had the time to list every single one. But then I can make a video, and then if someone's like, hey, I want this, then I can be like, okay, I'll list that one first. Because when I'm trying to list like 100 machines, it's really overwhelming to like list all of them, especially because I don't have, if like 5 of them sell at once, I don't have like packaging and stuff to send that many out at once. So it's just like, ugh. But the broom vac can be easy, because that you can cram into a super tiny box, from what I understand. Ooh, this thing is... I mean, it is a non-self-propelled, but that thing is torn to shit. And it's local pickup. Why so many Georgia listings? Why are there so many Georgias? I keep accidentally clicking the same link. Ugh. Search up NOS vacuum. Oh yeah, I could totally do that. I wonder what HEPA bags might work for the broom vac. As far as I know, it's a top fill, but I never owned one, so I don't know. I have bags for one, but I don't remember what they look like off the top of my head. I'm probably gonna cut the stream pretty soon because I gotta go to bed. I got work tomorrow, and I have to pee. So, leave your final questions, comments, and recommendations in the chat. Oop, Rick Hoover sent another eBay link. What is this? Oh, that's cool. The Govac. And it's the Barbie Govac. Man. It'd be cool to get one of these. Not the Barbie one, but the transparent blue one. Is the battery shot? Is that why it's for parts? Yep. Bree Cyclonic. I actually liked this machine. I know it's kind of an unpopular opinion, but I've always defended these ones. These TTI Dirt Devils are actually not bad. All right. Too bad they're cordless. A corded one would be a banger. Yeah. Well, that's basically just a broom vac, isn't it, at that point? Mila Swinger. Perfect for swingers. You know, it's so funny because all these videos are reminding me. There was one person who sent me a message on eBay about that Auric, the big one, like the big commercial one, and they sent kind of a snarky ass comment, or they sent like a snarky ass message. They were like, "Can you show me a video of it so I have proof of it working?" And I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't want to sell it to you if you're gonna like I didn't even respond because I'm like, if you're gonna come at me with that much sass and we've never even talked before, then it's like I don't even want you to buy the fucking thing because I know you're gonna try to return it. I know you're gonna be a pain in the ass. You know, just like, hey, do you by chance have a video of it running? Like, that'd be perfectly fine. But if you're gonna be just a dipshit just out of the gate, then yeah, I'm not gonna. Even if I was going to before, it's like I don't, just out of principle, I don't want to because you're just gonna buy it and find some bullshit reason to return it on my dime, and I'm not okay with that, with something that heavy. Like, I don't have time to fuck around. Like, I understand not everyone is familiar with the channel, obviously, but it's like most. I mean, I'm not gonna sell it if it doesn't run, and if so, I'm gonna say it. Oh, I don't know why I went back there. Probably did the same thing. Envirovac. I'm probably gonna. Oh, I don't know yet if I'm gonna sell one of my victories. I might. That's the thing, because I like the handle better on the more normal victory, but I like the HEPA filter on the World Vac, so I kind of go either way. I guess I should just sell both because I don't like either of them, apparently. But yeah, that's pretty much that. 12:40. Yeah, I probably should go to bed. Let's see. Is this... Which one's F5? It's like underneath my keyboard tray. Yep, more links that haven't shown up. Oh yeah, W2. One of these popped up at my local thrift store before it closed, but they wanted like $40 for it, and it leaned back like that, and I didn't really want it for that much, and it was pretty dirty. Huh. Cool. Alright, that's enough. I'm gonna... Wait, is that the same one? That's the same one, isn't it? Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and go. It's late. It's almost 12:45, and I gotta go to bed. Alrighty. I will see you guys in the next video. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Leave any other thoughts or comments in the description. And have a good one. Peace. And if anyone wants this, let me know, because I will sell it at some point. Alright, bye-bye.